Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I just want to show you how to do a bit of a wire tuck, get rid of some of these wires on top of your valve cover here. So if you're wanting to paint your valve cover, whether it's the plastic one or the metal one, you definitely want to get rid of these wires when you do that. So the easiest way to do it is actually to pick up this wire extender from Clubspec Chicago Customs, I believe they're called. I have one of these in my car and it made it a lot easier, so you don't have to splice any wires and rejoin them, you can just plug in. So today I'll be showing you how to do that. It's a pretty easy job, and I'll first show you what it'll look like when you're finished. So I'll show you Fiances Ralliart engine bay, just so you can get an idea of what the wires will look like when it's disappeared. Okay, so this is Fiances engine bay in her Ralliart. So as you can see, she doesn't have any wires sitting over the top. So they were originally done by the previous owner, but I've sort of retucked and made it a bit neater. So going underneath the fuel rail, coming up around and down back into the Mivec sensor down the back there. So that's the look that the owner of this Ralliart is going for, to sort of look similar to this one, with Tisha's car. So he's going to paint his valve cover soon. So yeah, we'll show you how you can tuck your wires up using this adapter and make it nice and easy for you. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do, you just want to get all these clips out that are holding the wires in, and you want to unplug your injector wires, this one down here, and your Mivec sensor at the back, just so you can pull everything through and all have it as one. So I'll do that now and then show you that all unclipped. Alright guys, so we're making some progress. I have unclipped everything. So this Mivec plug from down the back, this one from down here, pulled this out, and I've unplugged the first or the last two injectors. I've also then pulled this piece out, which is down here, just sort of holding the injector plugs where they are, but I'm going to go without reusing that because I think it looks a bit neater without it. So that's everything unplugged. So all of these ones have come out. You might even take this one out because I'm not going to need that anymore. And so next step is we're going to be just getting this all a bit neater, and we're going to feed down underneath the fuel rail, and we'll find a nice clean route to bring this wiring back. So I'll show you once we get onto that step. Alright guys, so worked out the way we're going to be running a line. So we unplugged these two injectors here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to feed them underneath the fuel rail. And then grab those out, pull a bit of slack through. What we want to do then is we want to put them up through here and just plug them back in. So to do that, we're going to take this bracket out. So I've already loosened it, and we're actually going to leave the bracket out. There's just no real need for it without an engine cover or anything at this stage. So we're going to take these bolts out. We're just going to put the bolts back in without the bracket. Make sure you don't drop anything, because I actually already have dropped one bolt. Likely I have a few spares, so I'll replace them, not leave anything without a bolt. Okay, so without that bracket there, just leave that for now. Without that bracket there, I'm able to get our plugs for our injectors and tuck them underneath, back underneath the fuel rail. So those are now ready to go. Plug those back in. Then with the rest of the wiring, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to pull it through this fuel rail. Pull these injectors back out now just to make it a bit easier, but they'll be going back underneath. Alright, so I've got all that through. So this one's going to go back down here. This one as well. It's going to go back down there. So those are basically fine, they can stay. This one here is what was meant to be back down there. So obviously it's not going to reach the way we've now sort of tucked it around. So that's where our Clubspec Chicago adapter will come in. So I'll grab that. So what that lets us do is we'll plug this one in. So we've got that one in there. And we're just going to go pull everything through underneath this line. Now we're ready to tuck those ones back, plug them in. And this one now, we'll run him down along, tuck it down the side of the valve cover. We'll put some zip ties so it's not moving around. That's basically what we want. So I'll get everything plugged back in and I'll just sort of show you how it's all sitting once we're done, 'cause it's a bit hard to sort of show when there's still wire loose, but we'll make it look a bit neater and I'll show you the end result. Alright guys, so tucked everything through. So yeah, like I said, starting off, went underneath this fuel rail and we unplugged the two injectors. We fed the two wires with the injectors, the plugs back up, so those are now plugged in. And the rest of the wire we went, pulled it through as well. Came underneath here, came underneath this line. So we plugged this back in, got this plug in, and that was the original plug that went into the Mivec sensor. So obviously we've got the extender in, which you can see back there, we've plugged that in to where this one originally went. So that's the benefit of this wire extender kit, that normally you would splice and extend this wire to make it. So instead we just plug that. So what we're going to do, it's basically how that's our end result really, but all we're going to do now is just find a best way to zip tie all this extra down underneath, keeping it away from this belt here, because we definitely don't want any near the wire that we've just run through coming in contact with this belt. So yeah, we're just going to zip tie and hide it the best we can, but either way, even if you can still see a bit of the wiring down here, at least it's not now coming up across here. So we'll take this little bracket out the wire used to go into, and we'll just put that bolt back in. We've taken out the bracket that used to sit here, just going to put those two bolts back in. We're also going to take this one out just for now and just put the two bolts back in, so we won't have any of those. So yeah, we'll zip tie, we'll remove all these, put all the bolts back in everywhere, we'll remove them, and then I'll just show you the actual end result. But either way now, that's pretty much what we've got. So we don't have any wires, everything's plugged back in. So yeah, we'll just do a bit more tidying and we'll show you the actual end result. Alright guys, so we're all finished. If you remember the start, we had wires coming up over here. Now it's just nice smooth look, so now you can paint his valve cover, and when he puts it back in, so doesn't have to worry about the wires at all. So yeah, just to quickly recap what we did. So we unplugged everything. We unplugged everything that connects up. We pulled it all through the fuel rail. We tucked the two injector plugs back down here, and then we tucked them down, so they're now out of sight. Then we ran the rest of it over here underneath this line, underneath this one. We plugged this back in, this back, and this sensor back in, and we ran the rest of our line across using the extender, and plugged in at the back. Then zip tied, so I'm just going to push the zip ties. Do a bit more zip tying here and tidy that one up, which I forgot. I zip tied this up away from this line, and I might just put another zip tie just to hold these three tight, just so one doesn't fall down and end up on the belt. Yeah, so we removed brackets here and here, and this little one here. So we've just put the bolts back in. So yeah, that's the basic wire tuck that most people do. More advanced would be this one, pulling the fuel rail off and tucking everything down. I haven't done that to my car yet. I want to do it in the future, and I want to paint my fuel rail, so maybe I'll show you that one next. But for now, this is definitely looking a lot better if you compare it to how it was at the start. So yeah, thanks to Jackson for letting me show you how to do it on his car, on his black Ralliart here. And yeah, that's it for today, guys. So hope you found the video helpful. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. And I'll catch you guys next time.